Hey guys, what is up for OddsChecker? I am your host, Melissa. I am joined by two of the sharpest bettors on the internet. You guys killed it yesterday. But I'm here with Matt and Krabs. Guys, let's just get straight into it. How did Thursday go for you betting wise?
It's a good day, guys. Little crazy win there. UAB money line there with the Warriors. Both games a full sweat. I know I said earlier on the show that neither would be a sweat. That was a lie. UAB wild game, back and forth all the way in the second half. Jelly Walker, guys, did not have it last night. I'll say that. The guy missed like 15 shots down the stretch. Had a couple chances to win it late. Game goes to overtime. That was fun. And then the Warriors were down like 17 at half, I want to say. That was a wild comeback. They ended up actually covering the spread, too, I believe, of the game, which was pretty insane. So, yeah, shout out to the Warriors. The ladder, guys, this ladder, it's been a little crazy. 3 of the 4 wins, our teams have trailed by double digits at half. So, it's been the comeback ladder. I'll say that. We're at now we're at day 5, and we'll see how it goes. Krabs, you had a wild win yourself. I will say that for sure.
I mean, this game had no business going under. I'll be honest with you. I had first half under as well. That was maybe the worst bet of all time. The over hit in the first half with 8 minutes left in the first half. Incredible. Honestly impressive, if you ask me. But I think Wisconsin was withheld from scoring for the last 9 minutes and 8 seconds of this game. They didn't score a single point. So that helped. And this ended up going under after there were over 70 points in the first half. So shout out that North Texas defense, electric. Shout out that Wisconsin defense and their lack of scoring. Had a really weird day yesterday, guys. I'll be honest with you. 4-1. Got a little bit lucky. Not going to lie to you. Got a little lucky. Had the over in Utah Valley UAB as well last night, and that went over in OT. So, you know what? Let's keep the luck moving today. Hopefully we have some of the same type of bets. All right?
Either way, as long as you won, who's to blame, right?
A win's a win. Doesn't matter how it won.
Matt, are you dishing out your ladder challenge day 5 pick today?
We're gonna wait for an MLB no runs first inning tomorrow. Now I don't know. We're gonna see where we're gonna go with it. We're gonna have some fun with it.
Okay.
And move forward. We will do that. Melissa, real quick, just an alert. I know we're gonna do the trivia question. They shut our comments off today, so unfortunately we had
this. I did see that. I was just gonna pretend that it didn't happen, but thank you for informing me.
I just wanted to let you know. No, you guys can try to answer it. It's not gonna work, but it was good trivia.
Right on YouTube, but we'll keep that to ourselves this week.
Yes, we'll keep it on our own hands.
Well, we can still answer. We can still just let people know. I mean, it does do my team favors.
Exactly, it does. It does, and we all hate the Yankees, so that's fun.
You're giving away the answer. There's no point now. With that being said, you guys covered the NL yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. So today we're going to cover the AL. Let's just get straight into it. Let's look at each division. We got the AL East. You guys already know the Yankees. This is the most competitive division in the league. Each of these 5 teams have won the division pennant at least once since 2014. This is a great league, I'm just saying. The Yankees ran away with last year's division after a historic run from Aaron Judge. What else is there to say? We're going to back the Yankees again. You're all going with me on this one. I don't want to hear anything, Krabs. We edged out the Blue Jays by 7 games, and no other team truly tested the Yankees last season, and I'm assuming that we're going to get it back this year. But I'll start with Matt. I'll prepare myself for a Krabs response.
All right, I'm sorry to tell you, it's not the Yankees this year because it's the Blue Jays. All right, we're going Blue Jays plus 200 to win the division.
Canada team, Matt. You're from
I know. I'm showing some love to Canada. I'll do it today. But listen, I like this team a lot. I like the makeup of them. We know how good they are offensively, but they actually got a lot better defensively and pitching in the offseason, which have been the 2 things that have kind of held them down. They moved on from Teoscar Hernandez. He's a great bat, but they were able to add Kevin Kiermaier in the outfield. Also, they bought in Dalton Varsho, Krabs Diamondbacks guy, right? Big fan of him.
This plays center. Pretty crazy.
Very versatile guy. He's very fast, good hitter. I think he's going to be a superstar in Toronto. Really good defender. So you add a Gold Glover in Kiermaier and then Varsho. Defensively, that makes them much better on the defensive side of things. We know that they could hit with Vladdy, Bichette, Springer. This lineup's loaded from an offensive standpoint. And then pitching-wise, I think they have one of the deeper rotations in the league. They actually added Chris Bassett also in the offseason, which is a big-time arm. You still got Alek Manoah. You still got Kevin Gausman, who had a great spring. This is a really good team. And I think when it comes down to it, Toronto is the best team in the division. So I'm going to take them plus 200 to win the division.
Okay.
All right, what about you, Krabs? Go easy on me on this one. You know what your words hurt me. So
100%. I'll be nice. Although I do absolutely hate the Yankees and everything they stand for and everybody on their team. But let's go down the line. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. All right, let's go to the Rays at plus 270. We'll keep going down the line here. I love the Rays. I love their management. I love their organization. They're one of the best run teams in baseball. We know that. They continue to overperform year in and year out. And I really love their starting rotation this season. McClanahan's back. He's an absolute beast. They got Springs, who's a dog. They brought in Eflin, who's decent enough, and Drew Rasmussen, who I think is going to be one of the best starters in baseball this season in the back end of that rotation. So love the Rays pitching staff this year. We know their young core is absolutely loaded behind Rosarina and Franco. These guys are beasts, and they've got plenty of other weapons too, a lot of depth on that team. Paredes, he was a stud last year coming out of nowhere, and they've got Siri holding it down in center field, one of the best defenders in the MLB. I'm not that high on the Yankees this season. I think they take a step back. The Blue Jays are everybody's public team. I'm going with the Rays team that nobody likes to back or ever take because they're boring, whatever, but they win, and they get in the playoffs, and I would not be surprised if they win the AL East at plus 270 here.
Rays are the most confusing team ever because every year, like if you looked at the Rays roster, no way they're making they don't look that good on paper, but every year they go out and win. So I don't hate that either. I think it's gonna be a long year for the Red Sox. I think it's gonna be a tough year for the Orioles, even though they were our favorite team last year from a betting standpoint. They were great last year against the spread or against the run line, whatever. So, but yeah, deep division for sure.
Well, guys, throw away everything Matt and Krabs said and thank me at the end of the season when I tell you to bet the Yankees. I know they're the favorites. Plus 130, though, like, might as well. Maybe they'll lose a few games and they'll lower in the rankings, and then you guys can bet that too. But I'm saying we've got it. We're good to go. Let's move on to the next division. All right, we got the AL Central. We got a division with the White Sox, the Twins, and Tigers, who were favored above the Guardians last season, and the Guardians still took the AL Central by 11 games last season. They were the youngest team in 2022. They ran away. They're going to sweep the Tampa Bay Rays this season. They sweep the Tampa Bay Rays season in the wild card series last season.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, Shane Bieber is going to continue to look for success. I don't know what else to say. I'm not just betting favorites, though. I just wanted to point out that I really do like these teams.
I'm going White Sox. Anyone watching this who was with me last year, they're going to be mad because the White Sox, they destroyed us at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
We want to shout them out at the back end, though. We won like 14 of our last 15 bets on the White Sox. I bet on them so many times last year. They were really disappointing last season. I think the pressure is off of them this year because, I mean, the odds are kind of indicative of this. Nobody's thinking they're going to win this division. I still like Chicago. I know they lost Jose Abreu in the offseason. They have a loaded outfield. Remember, they added Andrew Benintendi, who was an all-star a season ago. Still have Eloy Jimenez. Yeah, I mean, they got a little better there. You still have Robert Jimenez, Tim Anderson. Like, they're still a pretty loaded team. Andrew Vaughn can swing it. Like, offensively, I still think they're there. The issue could be a little bit in their bullpen. We know everything going on with Liam Hendricks right now. He's dealing with he's sick, has cancer right now, so he's going to be out, I'd imagine, for the season. That's a huge loss at the back end of their bullpen. Starting rotation, though, I think they're still pretty deep. Dylan Cease is my favorite pitcher in the MLB. That guy.
We're going to get to him because I am very excited about putting a future on him. So
yeah, absolutely love everything that he does. He was a moneymaker for us last season, but I think rotation-wise, they're somewhat deep. Michael Kopech's a guy. Remember, he's a blue-chip prospect coming up. If he can stretch out and give them more innings, his issue's kind of been, he's limited in his innings. He just throws a lot of pitches, doesn't go deep into games. He's still got Lance Lynn in that rotation. So I still think this is a pretty deep team. In Chicago at plus 250, I expect Cleveland to regress a little. Kind of would draw that comparison of Cleveland with the Rays. Like when you looked at them on paper, they don't really stick out. I think they're only superstars Jose Ramirez, and then it's a lot of like average players. that just played well last year. They have a great coach in Terry Francona. But I think Chicago at this number is a good bet.
Matt, you love to bet Chicago White Sox last season, so I don't think anyone is surprised that you're going. You're going. I remember you're going right back to the well, so that makes sense.
Why not? They're due.
Krabs, what are you looking at on this?
I'm with you on this one, Melissa. I like the Guardians. I like the favorite here. Youngest team in baseball last year, and that did not matter one bit. They were incredible all year. They overperformed. Like you said, Matt, they have a great coach in Francona. And this team has a really good young rotation as well. Cal Quantrill, that dude is a stud. And I lost a lot of money fading him last year. That dude does not lose. And Jose Ramirez is debatably one of the best players in baseball. And their role players are very consistent. You saw last year, and these guys should all take a step up. Very young team. I think they continue to grow, get better, and this division kind of stinks. So I'll back the favorite here. I'll go with the Guardians.
Yeah, it's weak at the bottom. Kansas City, they're going to struggle a lot. Detroit, it's going to be a long year there. So I do think, I don't think you're going to see anything too crazy in this division. It'll be one of the three favorites. Minnesota, I mean, offensively, they have guys, right? I just worry about their pitching. I don't know if they can keep up long term.
I'm wondering if Ben from We Bet the Spread, as most of you know, is betting the Twins today.
Dude, being a Minnesota sports fan just does not sound fun. I always get on him for it.
He says the Lynx are really good.
I don't even know who that is. They don't have any sports teams that are.
The Wild are great. First of all, we cannot discount the Minnesota Wild. So I
know you like the Wild, but historically, I'll say
yeah, that's fair.
And you live in Minnesota, so yeah, relocate, go somewhere else.
Sorry, guys, but we'll move on to the next division now.
Dun, dun, dun.
The AL West. Well, you guys already know I'm fading the Astros because, well, I can't say that on air, but I do not like them. What do you guys got for us? I'm going with the Angels here. We just saw two superstars kill it in the World Baseball Classic. I mean, and we're getting them at great value. But Matt, you go first. What are you looking at?
I'm gonna back you, Melissa. It's the Angels' time. All right, this team has killed well, not us. A lot of people who've bet on them the last few seasons. Listen, here's the thing with the Angels. You watched that World Baseball Classic and just sat there thinking, how is this team not only not won, but how have they even made the playoffs? Like, you have the two best players in the world right now, in Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. The issue, though, and everybody knows this, it's been their pitching. Like, did they have enough pitching to compete, especially in the division, facing the Astros, facing the Mariners? I'd even throw the Rangers in there. They have a really good lineup. So it's going to be a tough division for them. This is obviously a long shot, but at plus 550, I'm going to take a shot on it. I think Tyler Anderson was a big pickup for them. He had a really good year last year with the Dodgers. I think that was a really good pickup for them. I think that's going to help the front end of the rotation. Patrick Sandoval looked really good in the World Baseball Classic. He's a guy, if he can come in and be like a legit 3 for them, that's pretty good. When you get towards the back end, their rotation right now, they have Jose Suarez, Tucker Davidson, or Reed Detmers. 2 of those 3 guys will fill the back end of the rotation. I don't love that, but I think offensively, this team could fill it up. And old Nat, too, Krabs, Anthony Rendon, ever since he signed there, he's kind of just went downhill. I think it's a big year for him. You know, he should be healthy. If he can go kind of back to his old form, this lineup is terrifying. Trout, Ohtani, Rendon. You got Jared Walsh in there who can really swing it. Like, this is a deep, deep team. And also, who else did they add? Let me look. They added someone else. Oh, Gio Urshela and Hunter Renfroe. So I think they got stronger. Yeah, I think they got stronger at some weaker positions. I'll take a shot on plus 550.
That's definitely the right. Go ahead, Melissa.
Good. I was going to say, I think this is just the year they finally put it all together. But Krabs, tell us we're all 3 on the same page here.
Well, if you're going to take a plus money bet here, I would go with the Angels. I do think they're due, and I think Shohei is going to be an absolute animal this season on the mound and at the plate. I'm a little bit worried about Mike Trout. He looks like crap at the plate right now in the World Baseball Classic pretty much, and in spring training. He's been striking out a ton, so I don't really know what's going on there, and he's had some serious back injuries recently. Yes, Rendon, Matt, him coming back is huge for the Angels. They need him to be healthy and playing like 2019 Anthony Rendon when he carried us to a World Series. But let's not kid ourselves here, guys. We all know who's winning this division. Nobody wants to take it, though.
Is it the Mariners?
It's the Astros.
How dare you? We are a show that supports.
They're gonna.
They're minus 185. They're going to win the division.
I agree.
But if you want a value play,
I don't.
you take the Angels. I'm with you guys.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's definitely a value. Definitely played a huge part in. I'd assume Matt as well, but in me taking the Angels.
I just hate the Astros. Yeah, I mean they rip me.
Who likes the Astros besides Krabs?
I don't like them. I'm just saying they're really good and they're going to win.
I guess just Astros fans. That's it. Yeah, I mean they're probably going to win the division. I do think Seattle can make some noise, although I do expect them to regress a little from last year. I know they had a great year last year. They returned most of that roster, but they kind of overachieved last year. I won't be surprised if people kind of buy into them now, and then their market goes back a little bit. So, like a Mariners team total under on wins, I don't think that's a bad look because I think the Angels and Rangers could surprise some people this year. Texas is a team we'll get to a little bit later on, but adding Jacob deGrom, like they've continued.
We're totally fading the Rangers. Jacob deGrom left the Mets, my city of Queens. I'm a Yankees fan, but I'm just saying.
I was going to say, are you a Yankees and Mets fan? What are you
doing?
We are
actively rooting against the Texas Rangers.
Wait, why? Who cares? He's on the Mets. You're not a Mets fan. Listen, the point.
But I spent most of my life when it comes to the ballpark ratio, it's like 10% Yankees and so 90%. I lived 10 minutes away from the stadium. You can't, and the tickets are so cheap. Like, what are you gonna do?
Melissa, wait, you're from New York City?
Who would have guessed?
You've never said that before.
That is the first time ever saying that she's from New York. We did not know that.
Just if anyone didn't know ahead of time. But I will actively root against Jacob deGrom this season. Sorry.
First time I ever heard a Yankees fan, mad at a Mets player. But we'll see. But the Rangers could make some noise. So I think this division will be better than most people think. The A's are going to be god awful. That's going to be fun to watch. They're going to be very bad. Worst team in baseball.
All right, guys, let's move on to the next one. The outrights. You guys already know. I'm taking the Yankees. We got a new shortstop, Anthony Volpe, I want to say. There we go. Look at me. I am learning. It's gonna be a good season. I think with his addition, they're calling him the next Derek Jeter. He met him when he was 10. So we'll see what happens. I don't like that he's from New Jersey, but I think he will elevate the Yankees. And they're just such a dominant team already. But what do you guys got? Krabs, if you say the Astros, we're going to have some words off show.
I mean, definitely not taking the Astros at plus 250. No chance. But I like the Rays still. Going back to the AL East talk, I think them at plus 1200 is insane value for a team that's going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be successful. They're not going to make mistakes. And they're extremely well run. I love the Rays with that rotation and that young core offensively. I think they can potentially run the table in the AL and knock off some of these big boys at the top.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my original look with Toronto plus 650. Guys, I'm telling you, it's their year. They're so talented. I just think at some point their talent takes over, and I think they corrected the things that were holding them down. Pitching. I mean, you have 5 legit arms now. Like, Hunter Ryu is going to be a 4 or 5 on the staff. Jose Barrios also had a really bad year last year, and this is a guy who was a former ace. Remember, he got traded for Austin Martin. It was a blue-chip prospect with Minnesota. So this is a guy that I think has ace stuff. I mean, him and Ryu at the back end of your rotation, they don't really have a weak spot in their rotation. The bullpen is where I would worry a little bit with Toronto. I think that's kind of been their thing. They have found a really good closer in Romero who's kind of been able to slam the door, but those middle inning guys, they have been very inconsistent for them. If they can correct that, I think this is a scary team because we know they're going to put up runs, and now they have a much better defensive team, a much better staff. I think Toronto is more than capable of going on a run. So that'll be a big future for me. I'll probably put a unit and a half, maybe 2 units on that. I'm very confident in Toronto making a run. And at that price, I like it. I think that I know they have the third best odds, but
it's good value.
Yeah, I still feel the value there is good. And, of course, get something on the White Sox. They're due.
All right, guys. Now, for the favorite bet, it is the AL MVP we're looking at next.
Cy Young first.
Oh, just kidding. It was a Cy Young. Sorry, Nigel. What do you got for us? So we're obviously automatically fading Jacob deGrom, right? I'm not even going with Derek Cole on this one. Matt, we touched on this earlier. I'm looking at Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan Cease definitely up there. He really could have won last year. I mean, I don't want to say he fumbled the bag, but if he closed the season stronger, I mean, what was his streak? He went like an insane amount of innings without an earned run. It was like 4 or 5 starts. The guy has everything to win a Cy Young. I'm going to give Kevin Gausman there. Plus, I'm staying on my blue.
Oh,
All right, look at his numbers in the spring. This
Okay.
team pitching with supreme confidence. I don't want to say that like the way their schedule shakes out. I was looking at their schedule rankings yesterday. Not too difficult of a schedule in division. He's going to have to run into the Yankees at times, but that'll probably help him out, right? More strikeouts for the resume. We'll see. I like Gausman there with the value. I think Cease is a good look as well. But yeah, that's where, I mean, these are tough awards to predict. It could be someone not even on this list. Like it is
that's why it's fun.
it is very hard to predict this. But yeah, give me a little action on Kevin Gausman.
All I'm saying though, Dylan Cease is devastating. No one's watching a White Sox game, so he has a very nice and quiet, besides Matt, but he's having a nice and quiet season. He's gonna have a dominant year, and he has no pressure. We've got like Cole, and we've got Ohtani, and we've got DeGrom, and all eyes are on them. But Dylan Cease can like creepily crawl his way to the top. I think there's no pressure. He's just gonna do his thing. He's not a household name yet, so he's got a lot going for him this season.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Krabs, who you got if you had to take someone on this list?
Yeah, I'll go with Luis Castillo on the Mariners.
Okay.
I don't love the Mariners this season, but I love Luis Castillo and the way he's been trending, the way he finished up the year on the Mariners last year. I was very, very impressed, and he's in a pitcher's ballpark, so he's going to be the ace of that team, and he's going to be carrying them throughout the season. The guy's young still. I don't have to really worry about injuries much, and I don't think he's hit his peak yet. I think it's coming this season. First full season on the Mariners after coming over for the Reds for like 4 or 5 years, being a beast, right? He's settled in now. He gets the full year. He'll be healthy. He's still young, and the guy had some of his best stuff I've ever seen at the end of last season. So he'll carry that momentum into this year, and I love his value plus 1,600 here.
Yep.
Great value.
Definitely has a lot of value on that one. Yeah, these are tough awards, but I mean, hey, if you hit one, you're gonna make a lot of money because the way these are put up.
Next up, now we can do MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Nigel. What do you guys got? Are we looking at Shohei Ohtani at all? Anybody?
At plus 220.
I mean, he's going to win
Yeah.
it. He's going to win it.
It
I hate to say it, but he's
There's
going
a
to
lot
win
of pressure on him this season after the World Baseball Classic. Krabs, we'll start with you. So you're taking Ohtani.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a gun in my head and I had to hit a bet, I'd be taking Ohtani here, but I also never take futures at plus 220, really ever. But very, very telling line, if you ask me, for a 162-game season and a guy to be plus 220 for a future that takes the entire year in the longest sport there is, that's pretty crazy in my eyes and pretty telling. I think Shohei runs away with this if he stays healthy. He's looked incredible up on the mound so far early this year. I think he continues to get better on the bump. They're not going to overuse him on the mound either. When he's tired, they're going to need him, in the lineup. So, he'll be fresh throughout the year. They're only going to pitch him when, he's feeling good. And I think Shohei wins the AL MVP. I mean, we've never seen a player like this guy ever, and he deserves to win the MVP, in my opinion, every single season he's playing.
I'll take Trout just because I feel like this might be the best odds we've seen preseason. I don't know this for a fact on Trout, but third best odds to win it, right? He has 3 at this point, right? 2019, I believe, was his last. But he's won 3, and then he's finished in second 4 times. So, like, he's been up there pretty much every year that he's been able to stay healthy. Yeah, I know he hasn't looked great in spring training. It's Mike Trout. He'll figure it out. And I just think at this number, especially if the Angels can string together a good year, I'll take a chance on them. The only thing I worry with Ohtani, I mean, obviously, like you said, Krabs, he could legitimately win it every year just because of what he can do. We've never really seen a player like him. Just the number there. I mean, it is weird that it's that low. I don't know if I've seen an MVP at plus 220 preseason. Like, that's not even that crazy of a line. But Trout at plus 800, yeah, give me some action on him. I mean, still, in my opinion, he's still the best player in the world. I'll do it. I'll take a chance at plus 800.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I might throw a few shekels on Judge, but who would have guessed? All right.
Well, Melissa, his home run total has been getting bumped down recently. It's gone down from like 46.5 to 44.5. FanDuel, I think, has him even lower.
Okay, let's talk about this like from like a psychological sense, because now we're that type of expert. You had just one of the most dominant seasons probably in MLB history. Shouldn't it be lower? You can't. I mean, like, unless you're. We'll see what happens, but I'm just saying it's logical that the books are putting it. A lot of people would bet the under because they're like they can't do it back to back, right?
Mhm.
What
Good point.
you guys know the total? What's his total?
46.5-ish, 44.5-ish, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that is tough. It's tough to do it again.
Yeah.
No doubt
I
about
mean,
that.
you're right. They're not going to set it higher than when he broke the record last year, 100%.
Yeah.
But
Then everyone will bet
definitely
the
a
under.
little weird to see the total moving down.
He also plays in a little.
We also
league.
have to remember that the Yankees are one of the most hated teams in baseball, besides the Astros at this point in time. So people are probably betting his under just to spite him. I mean, I'm just throwing balls out here. I have no idea.
That's me. I'm doing that.
See, there we go. And I'm sure there's a lot of people just like you, Krabs.
100%. But yeah, they do play they play in a Cooperstown Dreams Park, so that also helps. Right, Matt?
Yes, that was my last point. The Krabs, as Krabs said, they play at a Little League stadium. It doesn't like Aaron Judge's home runs don't really count. They're at Little League fields. So
in my mind, he hasn't broken the record yet.
Not at all. I mean,
you guys are just haters, so it is what it is.
Put us out there. I bet we get a couple out playing in that stadium.
All right, now we are on to my favorite part of the show. It is our best bets, and we're going to start with Krabs on this one.
Sure. Let's do it. We're going to the NBA tonight. No CBB.
I think we all have NBA tonight.
That's all we got. We got some talk, right? A little NHL, but that's it.
And I'll be at the Caps game tonight, but I'm not betting that game.
Okay, wait. I was actually talking to our producer Nigel about this. Who do you have tonight? The Caps versus the Islanders.
Well, every time I go to the Caps game, it's a 1-0 loss, so I'm going to probably take the under. I'm not going to fade the Caps because I want us to win, but I'm cursed when I walk into Capital One Arena. So once I walk through those doors,
so good about myself. I was going to take the
Islanders. Your Islanders tonight.
They've already won twice this season. It's hard to win 3 times in a row, and the Isles are looking for playoffs. The Caps just when was the last time they played? The Caps played Saturday. They had a long rest period. They're going to be rusty.
I agree.
The Islanders goalie. But
I'm going to be there, and I'm cursed. So.
I know, and this just makes me so. Now I wish I did take that as my best bet, but I didn't. We'll see how that goes. But there you go, your bonus pick for the night.
Sure.
Let's take it away, Nigel. Let's see what Krabs is betting today.
Yeah, I'm betting the Lakers today. Not for the faint of heart. Not too happy about it. It is what it is, but I do think this is a sharp spot for LeBron and the Lakers. Could you guys picture a playoffs this year without LeBron and Anthony Davis? I personally cannot. And right now they're barely in it. I think they're only like a game and a half up on somebody who's in the 11th seed who's coming. I think it's actually Mavs.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, nuts. So they might not even make the freaking playoffs at this point. We saw what happened with Pat Bev and LeBron on Sunday when these two teams played against each other. That was the Lakers' last game. Pat Bev made LeBron look like a fool with that meme of him saying he was small or whatever. You guys saw that picture. LeBron's pretty petty. LeBron's pretty petty, guys. You know that. So he doesn't forget stuff like that. He likes to show out and enact some revenge, and he's going to do that tonight. I love the way the line's moving. It opened up at a pick'em, now up to 2.5 for the Lakers. Great sign there. Big bets are coming in on them, around 55% of bets, but 80% of handle coming in on the Lake Show. So some big bets dropping on the Lakers, including mine. I'm backing them to get back on track and get a much-needed win in Chicago. I thought Chicago would be the favorite in this spot after the Lakers have looked like crap, and Chicago's looked really good recently. They've won 7-10. I think LeBron literally carries the Lakers on his back and wins this game 1v5 tonight if he has to. Give me the Lakers on the end.
I love that bet too. Yeah, I'll have a article for that game, but that is definitely a Lakers spot. So all in on that one with you. I'm gonna go with my Sixers tonight. I've actually been fading. No, I faded them. I listen. I checked the numbers for the people out there. I've actually faded them more than I bet on them this year. But I always do good on my Philly teams. -4 tonight. They're back at home. Listen, Dallas is kind of had a weird run. I mean, they're on the outside looking
very tricky. Like I don't know what we get from them every night. It's just a toss up.
Weird team. Definitely a weird team. Ever since getting Kyrie Irving, they've gotten worse. We know that. We know the situation they're in. They do need every game, but Philly needs every game as well. Joel Embiid and James Harden sat out when they played at Denver. listen, we're doing this show at 11 a.m. or what now it's 12 p.m. I don't know if Embiid and Harden are definitely going to play. It's the NBA. We never really know. I'm going to take a stab that one of the two do play. If Embiid plays and no Harden, I still think they win. My dog doesn't like
the
it.
dogs are barking.
Yeah, and I lost the pick, I guess. But I do think that I think they get it done with Embiid in the lineup and Harden. I think this line will go up. On the other side of things, I expect Luka and Kyrie to play. I don't think either of them will be ruled out. But the NBA is wild. So watch the way this line moves with low management, injuries, whatever. If they're both fully healthy tonight, though, Philly's been lights out at home this season. They've lost back-to-back games. I don't want to say it's a must-win for them, but right now they're trying to hold on to that third seed. You don't want to fall to 4 because then they probably have to play your Knicks there, Melissa, in a 4-5 situation. There's not as good of a seed. I'd rather we don't want to see the Knicks. We don't want to see the Knicks. I'd much rather play someone down in that 6th spot. So, big game tonight. Yeah, I'll say it for once. If Brunson's out there, I do not want the Knicks. But we'll see.
Great player.
If Brunson's not out there, feed me the Knicks. I don't care. And I actually dapped up Jalen Brunson this summer.
I will be DMing Brunson. You better play.
We know each other. Me and Jalen. We high-fived once.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah. So you can name drop if you want. But yeah,
I might have to.
Yeah. He definitely remembers me. Yeah, we high-fived in the bathroom line. But no, I think that they will get it done, and I think the Sixers get it tonight.
All right, guys. As for me, I'm going a little off tier. I'm betting the Brooklyn Nets. Now, I'm not a fan of the Nets, and I kind of low-key don't want them to win because I have a bet going with my coworkers that the Knicks have more wins than them this season, which looks pretty good because I did it at the beginning of the season when all hope was lost for me, and I did it anyway. The line is actually at -10.5 now at FanDuel. Same odds, so this is good. Brooklyn is coming off a loss to the Magic. Dinwiddie was 0 for 11 in that game. He made not one basket. He's come back with a vengeance against the Rocket. We all know the Nets play better at home. They're at home tonight. The Rockets have no defense. They definitely have offensive prowess, but like I said, no defense. We're going to easily cut this number. The Rockets are ending a 5-game road trip as well. The bros are tired, what are you going to do? Yeah. And their coach was crying earlier this year. That was a big factor for me picking this as my best bet. He was he had tears down his eyes. He can't connect with his team. He's sad. There's no connection there. Yes. The Knicks beat the Rockets by, I think, at least 20. It could have been more, so I can't see why the Nets can't win by 11. They're desperate. They're trying to lock down the 6th seed. They're right there with the Heat. They need this win. The Knicks will avoid play-ins, though, just so you guys know. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm pretty sure.
Listen, the Rockets are very bad, Melissa. I'll say that. Nets
and
also.
They've been a bad bet. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games against the spread, so.
They're cold, but yeah, the Nets are a weird team. Also, Ben Simmons taking off the year. I don't know if you guys saw that. Guy takes off every year. So I'm giving credit.
I feel like the Nets know this by now, though, so they factored that in.
Yeah, just fed up with him at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, when they traded for him, that was I had to hear how it was a bad deal. And now the guy just doesn't play. And when he does play, he averages 6, 4, and 2. So biggest Ben Simmons hater on the planet. I'll take my victory.
I would imagine.
Yes.
Matt, will you be betting on Ben Simmons next year in the CBA? I heard he's brushing up on his Mandarin.
Yeah, the Shanghai Sharks want him. Look, if he goes to the CBA, I'll throw some money on him one time. But I'll probably quit there too. I'll just take his time. That's what he does. He's a loser.
We'll see what happens. Are we parlaying these odds? What do we think? Do we got 3 hits?
Well, we hit our last one, didn't we?
Or we did.
No, we did one this week, which we lost.
I wasn't a part of that though, so that doesn't count for me.
See, now I just sound like a liar. Plus 500 is what I'm going to tweet, so let's say it's that.
That'll pay.
What about you, Krabs?
Fired up. Plus 500.
I like it. Look, I don't like Spencer Dinwiddie. I think he's one of the biggest wimps in the NBA, personally. But he is a bucket.
He knows that you think that, so now he's going to actually try to make a couple buckets this time around.
Sure. Fun fact: when Dinwiddie was on the Wizards, I think this is opening day of last season. I was there, sat courtside, splurged a little bit on some tickets for opening day. Sat next to Dinwiddie's baby mama and his kids. And the kid the kid was annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was running around all over the place, grabbing people, screaming. I don't know what was going on.
If he's
like 1 year old.
Almost as if.
Yeah. He was crying like a baby. It was annoying.
Do you plan on having kids one day?
Sure. Yeah, not anytime soon. Tell you that much.
Are they going to not run around? Like, are you going to train them to just sit in
I'm
their
gonna train
seats?
them up. They're gonna be little betting crabs,
Little
and
crabs.
we'll go about our day. They won't be whining. But
Wow.
yeah, that was Dinwiddie's only good game in his Wizards career. He had like 40 points that night and beat the Pacers in overtime, and then came over to his kid, picked him up after the game right next to me. That was pretty cool.
Oh,
But ever
that's
since then, Dinwiddie's been kind of a wimp and not a big fan of the Wizards after how they left that situation last year. But
Yeah.
the Rockets are terrible, so your bet probably will hit.
Yeah,
That's all I'm looking for here.
It's a lot of points. But yeah, you throw this in a little parlay.
It
Plus
was minus
545.
12 last night.
Plus
I think it was
545.
minus 13 before I looked at it. So now it's minus 10 and a half. It was minus 11 this morning. It keeps moving down. People are betting on the Rockets, I guess. So let's prove them wrong.
If you bet on the Rockets, good luck. I've done it.
Yeah,
I've done
Yeah,
it.
let's
call the
prove them
number.
wrong. The audacity alone.
Can I
Yeah.
tell my Spencer Dinwiddie story?
Of course.
Why does everyone have a
We
Spencer?
need more Spencer.
story?
Spencer Dinwiddie connected with me on LinkedIn, which is now more pertinent information than it was yesterday. But that's just my Dinwiddie story, that he is a connection of mine on LinkedIn.
Yeah, oh, you never know, Nigel. The Nets might be you connect there. Yeah.
My corner three is a little rusty. I'm gonna have to take some time today to work on it.
Can't be worse than Ben Simmons.
That's true. That is true. There's no doubt about that.
Nigel, can you dunk? Because Matt apparently can. He said it before.
I can get rim.
No.
No, I can dunk if you put it down a couple. Like if you go down to like a
Couple
certain
feet.
level. Yeah, if you go down a couple feet, I'll throw it down. Like I can dunk on like a mini hoop. I can't dunk on a real
Anyone
hoop.
can dunk on a mini hoop. I can dunk on a mini hoop with my nails.
No, not you. I'm sure. No, I bet I could do it better. I'm only 5'10".
Probably not. Should we have an OddsChecker dunk contest?
I would smoke you. Yes, I would put all.
You wouldn't. I'd be wearing heels and doing it. So
That's fine. I will wear heels also, and I'll still win. I'm that confident. I think
Don't
I could.
take my game
That's
plan.
something that the people need to see. That
Don't take my game plan.
Krabs, how tall are you? I feel like you're taller than. Are you over 6 foot?
yeah, 6'3".
Every
Drop
No
down a little bit.
way.
picture I see of Krabs, he's just towering over people. So I'm like, either you have short friends or you're just really tall.
Krabs,
So,
I can
you're
throw it down a little bit.
taller than me. I'm
Yeah.
5'3".
wow.
Sure.
Krabs would tower. I'm only 5'10", and people call me short. I'm actually above
You are
average.
short. What do you
No,
gonna do?
I want to point out the average male height's 5'8", so I'm actually above average. So nobody can call me. Some guy.
Boy, Matt.
There was a guy
Attaboy.
yesterday on a burner in the comments like, "What's up, short stack?" He like called me short stack, and then he called me something else.
I'm gonna
And-
call you short stack now.
I
Yeah.
love short
Told me
stack,
that.
bro. That's a
Short
geeky
stack's-
nickname.
Short stack's tough to come back from. And then he was like, "Yeah,
It is.
he's like, if your girlfriend was a man that's actually tall, tell her to DM me." And I was like, "I'm above average, just so you know." So yeah, whoever says, "Yeah, I am in height, I am just as I'm tall. I'm above average in height." So yeah, no one called me short. For the record, but yeah. Anyway, I could dunk on a mini hoop, so we'll have to see.
You're lucky the comments are turned off today.
Yeah.
I wish they weren't. I really do. If I had one
Yeah.
wish in the universe.
Good comment off day for sure. No doubt about that. Shout out to Twitter.
All right, guys. Well, I guess this is it for today's episode. We will see you guys soon. For OddsChecker and the Morning Edge, I'm Melissa. This is Matt and Krabs, two of the best bettors on the internet, and we will see you guys soon, hopefully.